How's it going? It's Shane Thomas, ready to show you another country classic on acoustic guitar. And this time, this video, we have a classic from 1975, and that is Before the Next Teardrop Falls by Freddy Fender. Thank you to Doug for this request. I really appreciate you requesting this song. This is such a good song that has been covered by many artists, but Freddy Fender made it a hit in 1975. It was a #1 song in 1975, and it on the country charts, won the CMA Song of the Year, and then it switched over to the pop charts and was a #1 song on the pop chart. So good songs have a habit of doing that, I think. So it's a simple song. Now it's in the key of B minor, but the B minor, that's a tough one to play in. So that's why we have our friend, the capo. If you have a capo, put it on the 3rd fret. If you don't have a capo, I'll put a link in the description below so you can get one of these. And that way you can play all kinds of songs, country songs, and any kind of song really, but really comes in handy for a country song. So if you don't have one already, might want to consider getting one, because it makes the chord transition so much easier for a song like this that are played in tough keys that are keys that are tough to play on a guitar, such as the B flat key. So if you're ready to hum and strum and hum, get you a capo so you can play along with this song. It's only a couple verses, and then we have a bridge section, and then you'll know how to play it. So let's start learning how to play Before the Last Teardrop Falls by Freddy Fender. So now let's learn the chords to Before the Next Teardrop Falls. And that way, once we learn the chords, we'll just breeze right through the entire song. All right, so the first chord we're going to learn is the G chord. The G chord shape. This is actually a B flat to the sound of our ears, because the capo transposed the key, and when we play the G shaped chord, that's how we could play along with the original record, Freddy Fender's record. All right, so the G chord, G major chord, or G major shape, is the 6th string, 3rd fret, 5th string, 2nd fret. Play the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings open, and play the 3rd fret of the 1st string from the capo. All this is in relation to the capo. Strum all 6 strings. And that's our G-shaped chord. One little tip that's going to help you all know how to play this in no time at all is a little trick is to put your 1st finger on the 1st fret, 1st string. Because here's why. You're going to go from the G-shaped major chord, then you remove your pinky, and immediately you're in the G7 position. You're going to need it throughout the verses of this song. So get that. So you got the G shape with your pinky on the 3rd fret from the capo on the 1st string, and your 1st finger's right there waiting on the 1st fret from the capo 1st string. So lift up your pinky. So G to G7. That's going to make this song a whole lot easier to learn if you can remember that little tip. So we got G, then we got G7. C is our next chord that we're going to learn. 1st finger goes on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, skip a string, put your middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and your ring finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret. Strum down all 5 strings. That's the C major chord. Next chord you want to learn is the D7. You can play a D major chord here too if you like, but I think the D7 works a little better. Put your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, put your middle finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and put your ring finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret. That's a D7. Always check out those chord diagrams if you need to follow along. So that's our next chord that we have. And then eventually we're going to play the A major chord. And that is on the 2nd fret, on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings of the 2nd fret, pressed down, whether that's with 3 fingers or 1. I would say for this This song, you're gonna be better off playing with 3 fingers because you're gonna take a finger off and play that A7. So A major, again, is the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings of the 2nd fret pressed down. And then A7, you just take off a finger and play the 3rd string open. So from A major to A7. And those chords only appear in the bridge section of this song. You won't play them that often, but they do make an appearance. So those are your chords that you need to know to learn, so you can learn how to play before the next teardrop falls. So now that you know the chords, let's put it all together and start learning the song by learning the verses first. Now that we learned the chords, you got your tools that you need to use for this song. Let's put those tools to use and use them in the song. And we'll get through this song like that. It won't take as long now that you know the chords. The strumming pattern is just a simple down and up. Just nice and slow, down and up. Okay? And now the intro, you start off actually with the C chord. C, G, D7 to G. C, G, D7. All right, so you got C, G, D7, G, back to G, then C, G, D7, leads right into the verse. Let's start strumming on the G chord. 1, 2, 3. If he brings you happiness, G7, to C, then I wish you both the best, G. Back to C, it's your happiness. Now you could go down to D, or you could play the D major chord, which is on the 1st string, 2nd fret. Put your middle finger there, and then skip a string, put your 1st finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and ring finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret from the capo. So you could do either way. Whatever's works for you, whatever's easiest to play for you, whatever you think sounds the best. So again, the verse so far is, if he brings you G, down and up, happiness, D7. Remember, take the pinky off and your 1st finger's right there on the 1st string, 1st fret. Then I wish you C, both the best, G, down to C. It's your happiness, to D or D7 that matters most of all, G, D7. But if he ever, G, where we go after G? G7, take the pinky off, breaks your heart. If the teardrops, C, back to G, ever start. Real quick, you go down from G to C, back to G in the chorus section or the end of the verse, however you want to categorize it. So let me do that again. If the teardrops ever start, I'll be, see that? I'll be. So C, G, C, G. Get that little section. Real quick, you stay on that C. I'll be there. Went too quick there. I'll be on the word there. There before the next D7. Teardrops falls. G, C, G, D7. Okay, so let's recap the end of the verse or the chorus, however you want to say it. On the word I'll be C, up to G on the word there. There, before the D7, G falls, C, G, D7. And now you got verse 2, goes right into verse 2. Same chord progression. This time he's singing in Spanish. Apologize, I don't know much Spanish, so out of respect, I'm not going to try to attempt to sing in Spanish. But the chords are the exact same as the first verse. So G, G7, down to C, back to G, C, D or D7, G, back down to D7 real quick, back up to G, do 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 do, take the pinky off to G7, C, G. Remember this quick part. I'll be there, C to G, G. And that's how you play the verses. Now that we know the chords to the verses, all we have is one more section, and that is called the bridge, where we're going to throw in some new chords, and then you'll know how to play the entire song. We only have one more section to go, and that is the bridge. And once we learn the bridge, you'll have the entire song at your fingertips. Now, the thing with the bridge is it's unique. Most bridges in songs, or the section that's referred to as the bridge, only happen like one time for the most part, for most songs. And it's unique. It sounds unlike any other section of the song. We're going to use some new chords that we hadn't learned yet or used yet in this song, but it won't take us long. It's just a short section. So it starts out, you're on this G7. I'll be there, C major chord. Anytime, D7, you need me, G, by your side, G again. Now here's where it gets different. We go down to the A major chord, to drive, A7, so to drive away every teardrop, D, D7. So the chords to the bridge again are G7, I'll be there, C, to D7, you need me, G, by your side, down to A, A7, D, D7, and then we go right back just like we learned in our verses. You go right back to G. And if he ever, G7, so if he ever take the pinky off to G7 leaves you blue, just remember, C, I love you, G. And then just like the end of verse 1 and verse 2, you got that little chorus section. Real quick on the C to the G, this part. And I'll be there before the next D7 teardrop falls, G. One more time. And I'll be there before the next D7 teardrop falls, G, C, G. And that's how you play before the next teardrop falls. Thank you again to Doug for this request. I love that. So if you do anything, just start practicing the G to G7. Remember, a trick is to have your first finger already there on that first fret of the first string. Because all you got to do is lift up your pinky, and that's it. So hopefully you like this video, this guitar tutorial. If you did, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you need to. If you want to get all the latest guitar tutorials and acoustic guitar lessons as soon as I publish them. I want y'all to keep strumming and humming, keep playing these songs. Thank you so much for Freddy Fender singing his heart out on this one. It's sure a pleasure to play, and hopefully y'all learn how to play it, and you'll be playing it for years to come, and it gives you a lot of joy too. All right, I'm Shane Thomas. Y'all take care. And I'll be there before the next teardrop falls.